the staff reports at the end.
Okay.
Okay, and I have to keep my phone close because my boys are by themselves.
Do we need to add F?
Yeah, yep, F and then remove 3.
What's that? Probably. We just assume, yes.
You'll get the gist of it. I go to a wedding on Saturday. And it's young people, 25. And so I'm not staying up.
Are you still working with Cassie?
But it was just
Tyrrell?
sort of,
Yeah. She's great.
70s sort of music, disco sort of thing. So I had to cut a rug, and I stupidly tried to split.
Did you pull something?
I did a split.
Well, you did the split
And I cannot.
2 years back.
You know the disco thing where you're like,
Yeah?
I gave it a whirl, and I didn't make it. A bunch of 25-year-old a wedding for 25-year-olds, and here's the old fart and oh my God, if you add alcohol, I could really do brave stuff.
You had a
Not
wedding
so
on
much
a Monday
the next
night?
day.
Is that what I heard?
What's
You had
that?
A wedding on a Monday night?
I went to a wedding and I tried to do a split on the dance floor,
On a Monday night?
and I was like,
What day?
Saturday.
Oh, I'm like, what am I missing?
Yeah, who would have a
I was like,
Monday
who's
wedding?
a
Unless it's
wedding
in
on a Monday?
Cabo or something. Or,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's this thing where you do what's called a stage dive. It's a breakdancing move because I'm that old.
A break
Where you
dance.
dive and then you land on your own hands.
Please tell me
and
this
you
is on
spin.
video.
I did do that, but I kind of yeah.
How inebriated were you?
I had the father of the bride come up to me and just like, I've never seen anything like that. And they're
I
from
think the
Michigan.
fact that he attempted it might tell you how inebriated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an attempt, not a success.
You need stem cells, and I got a contact for you.
Yeah, I can't walk.
Oh, yep, I'm ready.
Embarrassing. Ready?
It's just images.
Yeah, I can't do a split. It turns out.
We'll call the meeting to order. Tiffany, please take the roll.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Present.
Councilwoman Workela.
Present.
Councilman Brennan.
Present.
Councilman Harjo.
Present.
Mayor Sykes.
President, let the record reflect that we do have a quorum for Tuesday, June 10th, 2025, City Council meeting. We're going to run down to recognize, oh, wait, before I do that, Council, I need to remove item 3 on new business at the request of Idaho Power, and then add F on the executive session to go along with subsection A. Do I have a motion to do those?
Mayor,
Councilman Harjo?
I'd like to make a motion to remove new business action item number 3 and to add executive session Idaho Code 74206F.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion?
Mayor,
Councilwoman Garvey?
is 2 still, even if it's Idaho Power?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilwoman Garvey?
Aye.
Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilwoman Workela?
Aye.
Councilman Harjo?
Aye.
All right, run down to recognizing persons in the audience. Would somebody like to get up and speak for 3 minutes?
I will.
Right.
Cut in front of anybody. Rod Dudley, Mayor, Council. This is mainly for the mayor. Thank you for thank you for allowing me time to finish what I'd hoped to have done the last council meeting. Because of your efforts, Mr. Mayor, you have encouraged many citizens to do their own research and voice their concerns. On Monday the 19th, 25, during Mondays with the mayor, you used graphic showing public records requests over the last 5 years. I would like to point out a few of those years. In 2021, there were 228 requests possibly due to Dirtgate. In 2024, there were 289 requests, the first year this council became a council. At the time of your presentation, you said there had been 146 requests. As of our last request, there have been a total of 210 requests. Alan and I in no way have requested 64 since May 19th. As a result of you pointing us out, I have placed a link on my website for people to go directly to the city's page from my website. You correctly stated we had requested 78 since the first of the year. I have made 43, Alan has made 35, 14 of which were packets for council and planning and zoning meetings. Interestingly, in 2 different public records requests by Alan, it is revealed that the citizen questioning, asking how many public requests have there been, the documents do not exist. However, you felt it was important to call us out. Moho Idaho Watchdog has 48 members who automatically receive the packets. 14 times 48 is 672 packets that didn't have to be sent out from City Hall. According to you, it takes an hour to do one request, and the lowest paid clerk is $28.91 per hour. Our requests have saved the city approximately $19,427.52 since January of 25. This does not include all the people that simply visit the site to get the packets without being signed or signed up. Social media posts the mountainhomewatchdog.com encourages many people to seek information. Many requests are made to clarify what City Council discusses in meetings that are not part of the total savings. Because we request, citizens are not having to request, they are getting them through the site. Thousands of dollars and hours are saved. In closing, if there was transparency, requests wouldn't be necessary. Having town hall meetings would allow for open, in-person discussion. I believe citizens simply want to be respected and heard. Thank you for bringing this to the attention of the citizens of Mountain Home. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Conflict of interest declaration. Has any council member received any information pertaining to or otherwise had any contact with any persons regarding any items on this city council agenda? If so, please set forth nature of contact.
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
I'm going to declare, it's not officially on our agenda, but it's in our agenda packet, so I'm going to declare it. I got an email from Nicholas, I'm not sure how to say the last name, Gutchin, Alan Bump, Rod Dudley, and Karen Chandler about the topic of signing $19,000 over to the mayor.
Mayor. Same.
Mayor.
Thank you.
Same.
Okay.
Mayor.
Okay.
Same.
All right, run down to budget presentations. So we're going to start out with domestic violence. Come on down. Ladies, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you, City Council, for allowing us to come out here and speak with you guys today.
Please state your name.
Yes, I was about to.
Okay.
I am the representative of Elmer County Domestic Violence Council, and my name is Xochitl Perez. I want to state that right now, with everything happening, we're receiving a lot of difficulty when it comes to funding, and just alone in the last year, we were able to serve a little bit over 100 individuals. This year alone, we've already served close to 70, with receiving about almost 300 crisis calls. With that being said, I want to let the floor go to our long, almost 10 years members of our board to take the floor.
Yes, my name is Connie Powers, and I've been a part of the Elmore County Domestic Violence Council for probably 20 years, I think. Because I feel this is a needed service in our community, and we do appreciate your willingness to support and financially support the Elmore County Domestic Violence Council. We do have if you want to hand the letters for the request. We are requesting 7,000 from your, from the city. And mainly, as Zochi said, we have had really a drop in BOCA funding has dropped. There's been a lot of funding that's been reduced, and so we are really trying to get more funding locally. So we, in the letter, we address some of the areas that we need funding is client transportation. We had a budget for that. We've already spent the budget. Immediate client needs, we've been able to get some gift cards, and some community people have put together hygiene packets. We've gotten stuff, but there's need for more. And just keeping the people that we have employed, so they're there right currently. I mean, we've been at Evans Harmony House, we have had pretty much, our rooms have been pretty full for the past 2 years. We've got full beds. We've served a lot of women and children, and also men in crisis place shelters. So we have serviced a lot of people in our community, and we thank you for your support. We're supposed to sign here.
All right. I'm probably gonna, Sochi?
Yes.
Okay. And I know Connie.
Yeah. That's why I let her have it for.
All right, anything else, ladies?
No.
Okay, well, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
you
much.
guys. Thank you.
We're gonna run down to the visitor center.
Hello, Mayor. Hello, council members. Hello, rest of the staff. I'm Sean Brazell, Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce. I do have Danae with me. She is assistant to Denise Baresi for Travel and Tourism, and we are representing the Desert Mountain Visitor Center. I'll get straight to the point. As far as visitors, we have an annual visitors count of about 5,573 visitors annually. Our international reach stems to England, Canada, Germany, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Japan, and the Philippines. Visitors represent 40 states, with the top 5 being Oregon, California, Washington, Florida, and Utah. Our volunteer commitment consists of over 5,247 volunteer hours each year. Our dedicated volunteers are the backbone of our daily operations. They keep the center open 7 days a week. Volunteers act as trusted local ambassadors. They provide recommendations on dining, accommodations, and activities within our local area. Their expertise guides visitors to the best local experiences that Mountain Home has to offer. We offer additional community service opportunities for local residents wanting to contribute as well. As far as our local partnerships, we proudly feature local Idaho and Mountain Home souvenirs that include t-shirts, novelty items, local honey, soaps, pottery, and books. We're actively seeking for more vendors from our local area to enrich our product selection and bolster local business. The center offers the most comprehensive source of local information, including area history maps and assortment of brochures. Additionally, we maintain an electric informational board that is located inside of the main lobby area, where local businesses from our town can promote their events and businesses for a minimal fee. We assist with welcome packages for Mountain Home Air Force Base, the new residents that come in, inbound groups, and special programs like Right Start. Include maps, brochures, discounts, and coupons for all of our surrounding areas. Our recently launched website, visitelmorecounty.idaho.com, serves as a one-step resource for city, county, and chamber information. The online resource funded by SWITA, Southwest Idaho Travel and Tourism Grants, saves time and enhances communication by consolidating all of our information into one simple website. Recent repairs to the information kiosk by the Parks and Rec team have ensured that our facility remains welcoming and fully operational. Now, for the reason why we're here, our budget needs, we are requesting $8,000 in funding to support the coordinator position that facilitates our daily operations and volunteer management. We do have Terry Viramontes with us today. She is our coordinator of the Visitor Center. With continual increases in wages and technology expenses, this is funding imperative to maintain our service quality. While we benefit from seasonal inventory sales, these revenues fluctuate and cannot fully cover our operational cost. The Desert Mountain Visitor Center is not just a gateway for visitors, it's a vital community hub. The center's success is built on volunteer dedication, strong local partnerships, and a commitment to providing comprehensive local information. Your continued support with an $8,000 funding allocation ensures that we can enhance our services and remain effective ambassadors for all that Elmore County has to offer. Respectfully, Mountain Home Chamber of Commerce, Travel and Tourism Committee. And if I may add just one more thing besides the amount that we are requesting, we are also hoping that we can have some kind of answer in regards to fiber for the Desert Mountain Visitor Center, being in that area, seeing that that is a city building. I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be able to get it for free, but we would like to get it for a good discounted rate if that is something that is available to the Visitor Center at this time. That's all we have for today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, I got the Arts Council, Christopher, and team.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor Sykes, City Council. On behalf of Mildred McNeil, our president, and our entire board, some who are here represented, we just thank you for this opportunity and your continued support. We especially ask it again this year. This is going to be a very challenging year for the Arts Council, as it is for a lot of nonprofits. Our year actually runs from July to June, as you can see in the packet. That's our fiscal year. So we're just finishing up, and then we're starting with the summer concert series. So I first wanted to just kind of review very briefly last season. So we served over 6,500 community members during the past year, including over 5,000 of general audience members. Then with our outreach programs, we served over 1,000. That's schools, nursing homes, St. Luke's, partnered with the library, and we also partnered with and served 336 artists with our programs, and you can see the list of all of our programs there, and the artists and audience members for those. Sorry, I don't know why every time I come in this room I get a little bit nervous in a different way than always. I know all of you, but I don't get it. I'll figure it out one day. So anyway, you can see our profit and loss this year versus last year. Of course, this doesn't have the last month in it, and while it looks like we're a little behind our budget, we're actually not. We do a lot of fundraising in June. This is our time at the end of the year for community canvas, for the summer concerts, and also our in-kind lands in this month. So we're right there on track to meet budget and along with last year. One thing we are kind of proud of is that we did bring in $2,000 more in grants, which will be good for us. We were up over 20,000 this year. Will be good for us because of the challenges of grants over this next period. So we're excited to have that foundation. As far as our balance sheet, you can also see that we are in our bank accounts with our liquid funds a little down from last year as well. We expect to close that gap a little bit, but it is going to be a little behind. we still feel like we're in that great best practices for nonprofits of having a liquid, because there's a lot of earmarked funds in there, of liquid of 3 to 6 months. So we're in a good position there to weather some storm that we see coming ahead. As you further on is kind of our next season. We're going to start out with July 4th again, about 20 new community canvas murals. Puts us at like right around 250 in Mountain Home. And then we'll have the summer concerts. We've got July 11th through August 8th. We've got those 5 concerts: rock, Tejanos, folk, country, and a great 80s band that I'm sure we're all going to enjoy. A growth area for us has been in the visual arts this year, and coming up in our new season, we've got Hope City coming up in September 20th. That's a new program. That's visual art and mental health awareness event for all ages at Richard Aguirre Park. We featured last year, and we'll do a second annual Kids Community Art Show, which was very well attended, and these are new growth areas for us. I do want to mention our Performing Arts series, because this is the ones that we bring in nationally and internationally touring groups, and we bring them into the schools and St. Luke's, nursing homes, so forth, the senior center. We have Fiddle Express, which is a bluegrass band. We have Tian Shea, who is a pianist and composer, and world-renowned. Very excited about that one. Abby Posner will be a singer-songwriter, and she'll also work with songwriters here in town. And Good Company will be an electro swing jazz band who will come and work with students, but also they just put on a great performance, and we're hoping it's going to be just a city party. So that's kind of what we have coming up. Our budget, while we have almost balanced this budget that we're contemplating, we did have to make a lot of adjustments here, not so much to programming, but how we are doing some of the spending, because we are looking at $7,000 to $10,000 of questionable funding that we have gotten since forever, because of the National Endowment for the Arts. It comes through the Idaho Commission on the Arts, the Creative West, touring grants, and so forth, and those are on hold at the moment and do not look like they're coming. We're supposed to get final word in August or September, but do not look like they're coming through this year. So that's going to be a rough one, but we also have already, like I said, made some tough decisions budgetarily. We'll be leaning on some relationships and partnerships we've developed over the last several years, and people are coming out and say, we will support you, and we've seen that already, and we're going to lean on that pretty heavily. We're looking for replacement funding, but you know what? We're always looking for grants, so we will continue that hard work, but there are some foundations that said we will have your back, because the arts and cultural nonprofits are getting hit pretty hard right now. And then we do plan on having to use some of our reserves. That is just a reality of this next season. But that's what they're there for, is for these times. We did not want to cut a lot of programming. So all of that to say, we appreciate your support. We'd love to have it at the similar level as we have the last couple of years at the $7,000. We really appreciate that. And it lends a lot of granting organization. It's not just the money that you give us, it is also leverage to get other grants. City support is huge for foundations, so we appreciate that. So that's it. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Kenda, nice to see you.
Seven. Yeah. 7, 8, and 7. Yeah.
All right, council, we're going to run down to the consent agenda. Is there anything that you need any more information on, you got a question on, you want to pull it?
Mayor,
Councilwoman Workla?
for E, is the fire chief here? Okay, so on the grant that was provided, let me pull that up real quick. The grant sheet here. So the project summary says grant would provide $10,000 for equipment to the fire department, and that is all we have. Can anyone elaborate?
What was it? What was that grant for? Was it for the?
Just looking through. It doesn't say specifically what equipment, but I would imagine it's just their apparatus or tools.
Mayor,
Councilman Harjo.
in the memo we have from our grant administrator, it mentions that the city only really became aware of this grant on June 4th, so within the last week. Somewhat unplanned, I would gather from that statement, so we might not have specifics on what that might be allocated towards in the future, but all funding is good funding when it's coming from grants.
Would you want me to give him a quick call?
Sure.
Take a break. I'm gonna see if I can get him off phone. Let's do a short recess really quick.
Paul, did you get my text earlier? Did you get my text earlier? Asking you to call me. Yeah.
Just got it. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. Your book ended between Judge Jackson and my daughter. I kind of missed it.
Yeah, kind of low tier there a bit. So.
I'm sorry, Jenny.
You can buy like, you can get ropes, you can get just various hand equipment and stuff.
So it's a myriad of just different equipment that you can get with that.
Yeah, it'd be stuff like we get for you can get stuff for extrication tools, things like that.
Okay. Thanks, Chief.
Yeah, that answer it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Very specific.
All right, back in session. This was for Marietta Tools.
So, Mayor, so last council meeting, this was the same situation with the library, and I know Shasta always tries to make it if she can, but she was unable that night to elaborate because she really does a good job of getting details. That's just my only request is when we get these, can it have a little bit more information than just towards tools or something. I don't know. I know law council here thinks grant money is free money, bring it in. I have a little bit of different thought on that, but I just would like to know what's going for if we're approving it. Thanks.
Okay.
Mayor,
Councilman Harjo.
I'll make a motion to pass the consent agenda as printed.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla.
Aye.
Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Aye.
Run down to old business. Number one, you saw the thing in the packet. And so we'll run down to action item number 2, deliberation decision regarding MHC 6-6-17, subsection D, subsection 7, with regards to quantity of hens allowed on one parcel of property. Council?
Mayor, are you gonna table one? Are you gonna?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna table it for, sorry.
Sorry.
Over my head. I'm gonna table it till the next council meeting. Or I guess I could explain, the dispatch, yeah, we sat down with, I guess I give you actually, we don't have to table if you wanna talk about it. Councilman Brennan.
Can I just ask a question on it real quick?
Absolutely.
Rather than just push it down the road. I like what we've got in here, the yellow highlighted areas, our quality requests. In my mind, I feel like paragraph 20 near the end would need an update, and this is probably for Paul if he has it in front of him, but we're now seeking a 5-year agreement with a 2-year termination clause. like we have now, right? 2 years notice. Let me read this. The agreement shall become effective on the effective date and shall end on and including September 30th, 2030. The agreement is intended to be renewed for an additional year at the end of its effective date upon mutually executed written blah blah blah. In my mind, I'm thinking like, can we mutually agree a year ahead of the 5-year expiration date or 2 years ahead? Like the way I'm reading it, I could be wrong. It's saying like, hey, when it's all over, we'll negotiate to extend it for another year.
No, I don't think it means that.
No.
And you could always, even if it did say that, you could always, a year before it's over, like calendar it and tease it.
Okay.
Just to say, to do the renewal in advance so that no one's left in a lurch. Is that what you're concerned about?
Yeah. Is it an automatic renewal of it unless parties want to then not renew? I'm just looking for a little more.
It is not automatically, it is not automatically renewed, no.
Let's say we're in year 4 of the 5-year agreement. I get that it's a 5-year agreement, but I don't want to nullify our 2-year term, like at year 4, at year 4.5, or at the end of 5. They're like, nah, we're not going to renew. And now what? Am I totally off base with that?
No, I understand what you're concerned about, and you're right, the agreement does not address that. If you wanted it to say something to the effect of, within 1 year of the expiration of this agreement, the party shall express its intent to renew it for an additional term, or 1-year terms, or something like that.
That's what, yeah, you said that well, I think. Because the last 2 years, beyond that point, or sorry, after year 3, the 2-year rule no longer is in effect.
It is not.
Because then we won't have 2 years. So something to that effect. Maybe at the end of the 3rd year, the parties should renegotiate for a term. Whether it's one that, 12 months ahead of time or 24 months ahead of time. But we can't be left in the lurch at the last second with a non-renewal.
And the way that does, you're right. The way it's written is it could just end.
Yeah.
And it's over. And while it says the parties intend this to happen, that's called puffery. It means nothing. What they intend to do. But
Sure.
if you actually put a sentence in there as within at least 1 year prior to the expiration of this term, if the parties wish to extend for an additional 1-year period, they shall provide the other party notice, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
And so with that, would it be unreasonable to say 2 years?
No.
So that we have that time like we had this.
Seems
go
a
around?
little strange to, it would be unreasonable to me, or at least very atypical because the extension is for 1-year extensions.
Okay.
So it would be a little weird to have to provide 2 years notice for a 1-year extension.
Okay.
Normally that would be flipped. That, if you wanted to do an additional term of 1 year, 6 months beforehand, you'd let us know that. Or if it was 2 years, 1 year beforehand, you'd let us know that kind of thing.
Okay. Then.
Because the normal objection that you would get for 2 years in advance that you would be doing this is that you're binding future county boards and future city councils, and don't they get to have that say when it comes closer to that date?
Okay.
So I would try to find something maybe in the middle there,
That 1 year. Okay.
at the very longest.
Okay. I'd request the council accept language to that with a 1-year notice if they don't wish to renew, extend.
Yeah, I think I still leave it puffery because that exact reason that you're binding a future city council. But it's almost, I'd rather know the negative, right? If within 1 year of the expiration of this term, if you are not intending on renewing this agreement, that you create some sort of duty in there to
Notify.
Maybe I would keep it flip-flop that if either you wish to terminate it or not wish to terminate it, within 1 year you manifest an intention statement that you are going to do that. Because you're right, we don't want it to just, for either party, we don't want it to just end on a lurch.
Right. Maybe if you could just work with Tiffany to come up with the best language.
I'll
and
finagle some language.
present it again.
Puffery, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
get it.
Thanks.
It's a legal term. It's actually in law books. It's called puffery.
That it is. Sorry about that. I just thought that was, wait, no, so my apologies, Jeff. Okay, Councilman,
Hey, I heard that.
all good on that one
That,
so far?
that was my only request on this updated potential draft.
Okay. Right. Anything else on that, council? So far, so good? Okay,
So, Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
what? There's something going on here. What's the next step here with this? Are we gonna vote to present it, or is that a?
Mayor,
What do you,
Go ahead, Tiff.
the city council would have to decide if they want us to present it or wait until, as the sheriff had kind of, in the meeting with the mayor, the sheriff had asked that we wait and hold off until he can have a discussion with our new chief candidate.
Okay,
And
sure.
so, if you guys want us to present it as is without that, then we can. You guys give me the direction.
I would honor that request to the best of our ability. That we have that conversation, but as far as it is, I don't know if it needs to get brought back. I guess I'm trying to get feedback if anybody else has anything. I'm ready to present it to the sheriff or to the chief, whatever that may be, but
Mayor.
So, Councilman Harjo.
Go ahead.
My
I'll follow.
request to the council is to wait till after this council meeting and then talk about it on the next council meeting.
Okay.
But that's just my request. More information to follow.
So Mayor,
Councilwoman Workala.
so we'll need to make a motion to table this for the next meeting then, okay? Okay, so I will make a motion to table the deliberation decision regarding dispatch agreement with Elmore County to the next meeting. I don't know the date on that. June 24th.
Mayor,
Yes, 24th. Councilman. Brennan?
not sure if it's necessary. Would you maybe amend your motion to include that one changed paragraph
Oh,
20
sure,
that
yeah.
they'll bring back?
Puffery to be added. So, no,
Deserve that.
I'll second.
Second.
It's been, Councilman Harjo, do you have anything else?
No.
Okay.
That's
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilwoman Workala?
Aye.
Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey?
Aye.
Councilman Harjo?
Aye.
Run down to action item number 2, deliberation decision regarding MHC 6-6-17, subsection D, subsection 7, with regards to quantity of hens allowed on parcel of property. Council?
Mayor.
Councilman Harjo?
Last time we met, you had given us some context to where some of this began in a citizen discussion that you had had about the possibility of increasing the number of hens a citizen can keep on the property from 3 to something larger than 3. In talking with Lieutenant Larson today and hearing some of his feedback at the last meeting, it seems as though, and Lieutenant Larson, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that PD and animal control both kind of see this as long as it doesn't increase, too drastically where there's inherent nuisance and that kind of thing that comes with, massive numbers of allowed hens, that increasing from, say, like 3 to 5 would be reasonable, would be a reasonable allowance.
Yeah.
3 to 5 or 3 to 6? Was it?
I in the talk that Lieutenant Larson and I had, and we were kind of talking 6 is kind of a standard in some places. 5 might be more reasonable for our community, given that if one of the newer subdivisions, somebody in that with maybe a smaller lot, that too many on a smaller lot might become an issue, and rather than like tie it to lot size like some municipalities do, which would be very hard for animal control and code enforcement to chase, that kind of like hitting a happy medium of like 5 birds might be the sweet spot.
Thanks, Councilman. Councilman Brennan?
I got a couple comments or concerns on this. First, in this entire ordinance, I would request that hens be specified as to chicken hens, because we have guinea hens, we have turkey hens, duck hens, and do we want 3? I looked up duck, female duck. Is that what you're looking at me for?
Is it really?
I looked it up on Google.
That's a waterfowl. It's not poultry. Sorry,
Okay.
but I mean, like, to be honest, I've had that discussion with several citizens, like,
Okay.
regarding why can't you have ducks? So sorry, I interrupted. Sorry.
Okay. So, like, do we want 6 turkeys in your backyard? I'm just saying. And I'd like to point out the.
Stand in the store and people just gobble them.
Sorry, Councilman.
Sorry.
I'd like to point out like what all like a citizen can have, and I do believe like lot size is important, right? Because the more houses on whatever 1 acre of land has more likelihood of animals becoming nuisances to other people. So let's see here. In our city here, we can have 3 dogs or 3 cats or combination thereof, and 3 hens of any type of poultry. You can have 2 rabbits in your yard. You can have a mini pig in your yard. So it's not like limited to a total of 3 animals. It's limited to 3 dogs and 3 hens and 2 rabbits and a pig. So I don't care what you say, like that will become a nuisance. I know not everybody, probably nobody has all of those things. Maybe they do, I don't know, in the city, but I'm still cautiously pessimistic on this, because you can disagree with me all you want, but I think a slippery slope is a real thing, right? And we give in to one request for hens, and next it's 3 rabbits and 2 pigs, 1 at a time, right? Whittling it away. So like I would be willing to meet in the middle a little bit. Maybe not exactly the middle, but near it. But I think like if you want to have a full farm, you probably need to move out into the county. What else? So, like I might support like 4 birds, 4 chicken hens, but that's probably all you're gonna get out of me.
Mayor.
Councilwoman Wyckoff?
Yeah, so I looked back in the minutes, and Lieutenant Larson, thanks for doing the research. You did say here in the minutes, I'm quoting, he said based on current research that the average was now 4 to 6 hens for a family to sustain a family. Before, when you did your research in the past, it looked like it was around the 3. That's what they based it off on, but now it could be potentially up to 4 to 6 hens for a family. Then I also looked up land use regulations for animals for Boise, Napa, and Caldwell, which are much larger cities than ours, and I was just curious what they had. For Boise, in section 110909.03, they can have up to 6 chickens, excluding roosters. You can have 4 ducks, 6 rabbits, and other small animals. If you are in a larger plat, you actually can, those chickens can go up to 12 chickens or ducks. And then Caldwell chickens, you can have up to 10, no roosters. Napa, you can have chickens up to 10, no roosters. Again, I already kind of went off of my little reasons why last meeting. I don't need to probably do that again. But we have a lot of homeschooler kids in the community that like to take advantage of raising animals, building shelters for them. A lot of people use this as a food source. Also, if you have chickens, you will know too that they the production isn't always 2 a day, like if you have 2 chickens. If it's cold in the winter time, they will stop production. If it's really hot in the summertime, they'll stop production. So, and chickens can last for many months, or chicken eggs can last for many months. So anyway, I'm just kind of putting that out there. I want more than 3, obviously. I'd be happy with 6, but if I don't get 6 today, if we can get more than 3, I'd be happy with that as well.
Council,
Yeah.
Councilman Brennan?
Tiffany? AI Google says that a duck is considered poultry. Poultry refers to domesticated birds raised for food, and ducks are common examples.
AI.
I don't know.
Ostriches
Whatever.
on there here before long too.
There you go. So,
Emu.
So I'm hearing, council, that we just need to specify chickens, hens.
chicken hens.
And then how many are you wanting to go? I got 5,
5.
4.
4. Councilwoman Garvey?
0.
I have no comment on this.
So what do you guys want to do? Who wants to make a motion?
Oh, I'll make a motion. Yes.
Councilwoman Workla.
Since I'm excited about this. So I'll make a motion to approve the quantity of chicken hens allowed on one parcel of property to go from the number 3 to the number 5.
Okay.
4.5.
4.5.
Do I have a second?
Mayor.
Councilman Harjo?
I'll second that. Councilwoman Workla,
Yeah.
there's a couple other
I saw that, sorry.
segments
Yeah,
within the code that we might want to mention on the record that section D, numbers 4 and 5 also have like just some nomenclature changes to non-venomous and non-toxic references.
Yes, Mayor.
Councilwoman Workla?
Yes, thank you. To add to my motion to change non-poisonous to non-venomous for reptiles for number 4, and number 5 non-poisonous to non-toxic amphibians.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion?
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan?
there's also several references of just basic hens in here. Can we throw into the motion that everywhere in here will be, every reference to hens will keep it as chicken hens and exclude all other types?
Councilwoman Workla?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Look at, Mayor,
You go ahead.
can we just look at C for a second? Why does C say multifamily dwellings? It says you can only have 2 dogs or 2 cats, or a combination thereof.
Apartment complexes?
Is that, so I guess, is that what people are only allowed in apartments then? They can't have 3 cats in apartments or 3 dogs? Okay, I don't know if that's being, as like enforced or advertised, because I think everyone has the mindset 3 cats or 3 dogs, no matter where you live. But, is that something maybe we might need to look at when we bring the cat issue back on? Nope. No? Okay.
Go ahead,
If you
Tiff.
want to amend this ordinance, you
Gotta
need
do it
to
now.
do all of it now, and it will come back
Okay.
next time for reading.
Thank you. Mayor,
Councilwoman Workla?
I would like to hear from the other council members what they think of C.
Of C. I'm fine with it.
Huh?
I'm fine with it. In an apartment, they don't have like many yard space to let their animals out and run.
Yeah.
There would be a gym that would be considered multi.
Okay, there's a
Mayor,
vote. Councilwoman Garvey?
on A, it doesn't make sense. I don't, it just, maybe it's the wording, or it sounds like it was like if you had X amount of hens prior to 2009. But it's a moot point if it's 3. Our ordinance says 3 anyway, right? That's kind of, yeah, it's redundant. Section A.
Go ahead, Tiff.
Ty and Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would assume this was in place because prior to, we didn't have an ordinance regarding chickens within city limits. So they allowed you, if you had more than 3 at the time and you lived in the city, you've got to keep your hens. So if you had 6, you kept them. Now it's a moot point. So the
Yes,
whole
so we could strike A.
section could go,
Yeah, we could strike A.
Okay, so Mayor.
Councilwoman Workla, this would be a long one.
Oh yeah, I'll just restart.
Okay.
So I'm gonna amend my motion. So the motion will be to allow. Sorry. Oh God. So regarding MHC 6-617 D7 with regards to the quantity of hens allowed on one parcel of property, to allow the number of 3 hens go to 6 chicken hens. Also change the verbiage for number 4 and number 5 from non-poisonous to non-venomous. Number 5, non-poisonous to non-toxic. And then we are striking out on A, the whole thing. Okay.
And there's a correction, it was 5 hens, not 6.
Oh, I said 6? Did I try to sneak that in there? Okay, 5 hens. Thank you. I didn't mean to.
Oh,
That was
Tiffany, thanks.
I was waiting.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Brennan?
Thanks.
Yeah, well, sorry, I'm just trying to like figure out who goes first every other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll skip you. Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla.
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Aye.
Councilman Brennan.
Well, let me tell you why I'm going to vote, how I'm going to vote. First, before I vote, we postponed this for 2 weeks, and I didn't get any feedback from any citizen on any of it. Nobody opposed to the requested change, so I'll, in fairness of a compromise, I'll say aye.
All right. Okay, we're gonna run down to new business items. Number 1, items removed from consent agenda. There were none. We're gonna run down to action item deliberation decision regarding city staff recommendation for Idaho Power's easement request. Council, what do you want to do?
Mayor.
Councilman Harjo?
I came in and spoke with Tiff at length yesterday regarding this topic. The big issue with conflict to the city's master transportation plan is quite valid. Tiff talked to a representative from Idaho Power yesterday that gave some explanation. I was hoping maybe they might have been able to make it today, but short notice, obviously. The area where that parcel, where they're essentially asking for an extension of their easement 60 feet to the east, would in theory clash with our transportation plan, the truck route associated with. There's some question of, in that area and that parcel, if their ability to expand could, must take place strictly to the east. There's also a question of, does their easement mean that we absolutely could not have an overlapping right-of-way of the city over their easement? Just the general construct of what they're trying to accomplish, I think, is still somewhat a question. I'd like to not outright deny this, but I think, in all fairness to all of us, on the city side and Idaho Power, it'd be great if we could schedule them to appear at a council meeting so we can talk about the site plan a little bit and perhaps what give and take maybe could occur there that would work for both parties.
Council, you good with that?
Mayor?
Councilman Brennan?
I don't have any objections to that. I think maybe just telling them up front that we're not going to give to the east because it's in conflict with our plans. But if they can come back to the table with another request, then just be clear up front, probably.
Tiffany?
I would just like the record to reflect I've been very transparent with Michael in these requests. I did tell him that our concern is the road build out and the width of the road. And if it was to be a truck route, and probably not gonna see it in my lifetime, right? So we're planning again 30 years out of what could be developed in that area. To the east is an old existing landfill that is city property. And so to build out a road on that, you may never be able to do. So that is very much staff's level's concern, and we've expressed that to Idaho Power. However, Idaho Power's request of easement is much larger than what they probably need realistically. And so I think if we could truly define what their project scope is, which Michael is gonna link me up with the project developer, I can get with Chris a little bit better and understand, really do they need the footages they're giving? And they need that to increase the power supply that the solar station does give, which we know is valuable to our citizens in area. So I would very much like, as a staff, I didn't want to hit deny, right? But I have to think of our future as well, so that's why I wrote that. So.
Mayor.
Councilman.
Tiff, Chris, if we brought this back in 2 weeks, is that enough time to navigate, or should we bump out a little farther?
Are you good with the Paul too? Easement? I think that's fair, and I think respectfully for Idaho Power, they would like to get moving on their project.
Sure. Okay. On that note, Mayor.
Councilman Harjo?
I'll make a motion to table new business action item 1 to June 24th, 2025.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Aye.
Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla.
Aye.
Run down to action item number 3, which is removed. We'll run down to action item number 4, deliberation decision on adoption of resolution 13-2025R regarding the objections to the assessment rule for LID number 1, and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign. Council.
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan.
make a motion to adopt resolution 13-2025R.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion?
Mayor,
Councilwoman Garvey.
I had a question on this the last time and I didn't ask it. So just for my own clarification, so these people requested to opt in, did they get the services? But they're not paying for it?
Mayor?
Go ahead, Tiff.
Yes, so all citizens that are hooked into LID number 1 right now, they're paying maintenance and operations since the minute we plug their home in. And they're paying to their ISP provider, which is a third-party vendor. What you are approving is the assessment to the property for the construction costs of the entire project build out. So once you adopt these tonight, there's a 30-day prepayment, which is where they can.
Oh, okay, so they're just
you're
not.
enclosure.
Yes,
You haven't
okay,
assessed
okay.
property
Yep,
yet. This is
I get
what
it.
all this is tonight.
100% get it. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. I understand.
Okay. You're at the end.
All right, it's been motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla.
Aye.
Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Aye.
Run down to action item number 5. Deliberation decision adopting ordinance 1805, confirming lid number 1 assessment rules and making final determination of regularity, validity, and correctness of the rules and assessments and findings that each lot parcel is benefited to the amount of the evaluation thereon. Assessments are due within 30 days of this ordinance adoption.
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan.
make a motion to adopt ordinance number 1805.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Workla.
Nay.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Aye.
Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Run down to action item number 6, deliberation decision regarding the request for proposals for bid packages for lid number 1, preparing for by Clearwater Financial, and authorize the distribution of the bid packages to the public.
Mayor,
Councilman Brennan.
make a motion to approve the request for proposals for the bid package for LID number 1 to Clearwater Financial.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Aye.
Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla.
Aye.
Run down to ordinances. Ordinance 1805, confirming LID 1 assessment rule, making final determination of the regularity, validity, and correctness of the rules and assessments, and finding that each lot and parcel is benefited to the amount of the assessment thereon. Assessments are due within 30 days of ordinance.
Mayor.
Councilman Harjo.
I'll I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 1805 and suspend the 3 reading rule and hear the reading for its one and only reading tonight.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilwoman Workla.
Nay.
Council.
Oh, suspend the 3 reading rule?
Yeah.
Aye.
Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Aye.
Jeff, please read the ordinance.
No, we had a race. Okay. Ordinance 1805, an ordinance approving and confirming the assessment role of fiber optics local improvement district number 1 for the Mountain Home Idaho fiber LID number 1 for the purpose of financing the design, acquisition, construction, and installation of certain fiber optic systems, improvements, and related apparatuses. Is that right? No. What is it? Within the boundaries.
Appurtenances.
Never mind, apprentices within the boundaries of the fiber LID 1 levying assessments and prescribing details thereof, providing and certification of the assessment rolls in fiber LID number 1, and profiling of notice of this ordinance with the recorders of the Elmore County, making the final determination of the regulatory validity and correctness of assessment rolls, and finding and providing for appeal procedures, providing for the publication of summary of ordinance, and providing for other matters properly related thereto.
Council, you've heard this ordinance read. Do you wish it to pass? Councilwoman Garvey.
Aye.
Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla.
Nay.
Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Council, final comments.
Mayor?
Councilman Harjo.
So there's water in the pool. I'm super happy and super proud of the staff. Thank you guys. This is looking very good. I'm glad we're nearing the finish line on this, and I'm sure the community is dying to take their jumps into the cold water.
Here.
Councilwoman Workla.
Thank you for reaching out on this when I asked regarding the GL 01415, okay, etc. So when is this, you said, can you just clarify? You left a voicemail, but will you just clarify? Because we had like 4 citizens that reached out to us regarding this. And so maybe for the audience, so they'll know what the next step is on this.
So the next step would be to do a contract. They're a 501c3, so you have to do a contract, bring it back to council, and that was where my memo was. It was explained the way I wanted to explain it, but I forgot that they're a 501c3, so it has to come back to the council anyways.
Right.
Regardless, it always comes back to the council.
No, I understand there's just like an invoice attached to the back, and so I don't really understand where we're at with that, but it makes sense that you're going to go and create a contract and then come to us, so thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. All right, council.
Mayor.
Councilman Harjo.
Unless anybody has another final comment, I'll make a motion to enter executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74206 1A and F.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Brennan.
Aye.
Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla.
Aye.
Councilwoman Garvey.
Aye.
Run into executive session.
You know, your neighbors are gonna have like 12 hens and poultries, and they're gonna have pigs.
I live on an acre. That's okay. Well, I will live on an acre.
That's why he's gonna be the one that has the neighbor that's got like every animal out there in the county.
Hey, well, we will too. Out